Join the conversation in the Twitch chat if you can get around all the GGs, but otherwise it's time to get into the next semifinal of the day. It is GALEFORCE going up against PSG. This should be a good one, a best of 7 with commentary by Wavepunk and Lawler. Take it away, guys.
Thanks so much, Axel Toss. PSG versus GALEFORCE. Now, PSG here, you turn it on the desk. They had a great season, went 6-1. Gibbs saying he doesn't know if they should deserve to be at 6-1. The thing he leaves out there, and that Axel Toss alluded to, they were 6-0. They were possibly going to be the first team to go undefeated in league play here since we have switched to this format. And these guys, they lost to Envy, the last game of their regular season, and the thing we haven't gotten to see yet is how that will impact them here. When a team that has done nothing but win, when they lose, how does that affect their play? We're about to find out.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how teams will bounce back, especially when they have the rest of the week off. You know, usually it's like, okay, they lost earlier in the day, let's see how they do later on. And we just haven't seen that from them yet. So, no, it's exactly that. Like, I'm really curious to see how they spent that downtime throughout the week and how they're going to put it into a better, maybe passing style play, because that's pretty much how they got beat. The solo plays weren't working. Yeah,
I mean, you saw it from Cloud9 yesterday, the team of rookies, the new players, and the new kids on the block coming up and becoming the North American champions. Can PSG have a similar story here? They didn't manage to go undefeated, but they could still take the #1 seed from Europe moving into the Worlds. So we will find out here. They have to win this one and then win the next one too if they want to pull off that title. But for right now, it's GALEFORCE that they're worried about. GALEFORCE in the blue, PSG in the orange. And we'll get our best of 7 underway.
I'll take a trip down memory lane. We haven't seen these guys play each other since week 1. RLCS League play back when they were known as Frontline on the side of PSG.
They were known as Frontline, and back when GALEFORCE was having a decidedly lackluster beginning to their season. PSG was able to do it in 5 games. Still took them the full 5 games to do it, and now GALEFORCE, after that first match of the day, playing in better form than we feel like we've seen them all season. So will it be another close one? Will one team run away with it? You heard the desk. They think it's going to be pretty close. I can't wait to see these teams play. PSG always an entertaining team to watch. Blue to try and drop this one into the box, but cleared by K-Dop, who met him at the ball. Now Blue on the wall. Violent Panda gets it past him and past Farah. Just be Charlotte in the back. Farah just moves up the challenge. Sarchette will not be able to make contact, but Farah will be able to get the ball away off of the bounce from the wall. And we'll see PSG take it up high, trying to get some offensive pressure going.
Violent Panda did a really good job of dribbling that downfield. The credit goes to Bluey for breaking it up. Positioning was all ready. They done with that last man in. Allowed them to transition back out as a ball trying to bounce in front of the net.
We'll go away. Defense is able to position correctly to keep PSG from taking the shot. And Turbo pulls it driving the Skyline. One of the newest cars here in Rocket League. He drove it in his last match as well. Interesting enough, he played Skyline in the very first game, which they lost. Usually players, when they play a new car and they lose in the first game, they switch back to a car they're used to. But he stuck on the Skyline and managed to get the win.
Oh, he's definitely confident with it. He said if they would have released it earlier, they would have went 7-0 this season in league play. So he's loving it.
K-Dop, this ball drops down straight in front of him. Farah will clear it off to the side. Charlotte sitting in net right now for PSG. What has been a pretty even game #1 so far. The fake from Bluey caused Turbo Pulse to miss a shot from the side. Sent away. 2:52 left on the clock. Approaching halftime. Neither team managing to find the back of the net yet. Right now is GALEFORCE up on the offense. Violent Panda shot towards net. Farah and Charlotte moving together. Will bounce off the wall and Farah moves up to challenge. Wins the 50-50 and it'll drop down into the box. Pinch from Turbo will send it away. GALEFORCE will get a clear from Turbo as well, but now Charlotte at the midfield. A wrap back around. Farah moves in as Charlotte falls back. Rotations from GALEFORCE holding on the defense. They'll be able to clear again. And back and forth right now, these guys taking turns on the shot. Oh my goodness, Violent Panda right there, taking the shot at the net, blocked away by Bluey, and now the transition from PSG will come through. Can they make a shot opportunity happen? It's been a very low shooting game so far.
Well, I mean, Gibbs mentioned on the desk, both these teams up at the top for defense. Just not too many holes found, even with shots like that. Staying patient, staying grounded, not taking the risk of moving up.
So far, 4 shots per team in this game. Blue gets it over the top of 2, bounces over the top of Turbo, but there's no shooter for PSG. Turbo will be able to clear this one underneath Charlotte. Now it's just Farah. We'll sit on the back wall. Just play it away. Violent Panda now to play it. Cross, took it into Zoo. He took a wide turn there. So he pulled it back into the blue to make his move.
Does get a wide turn, but he draws 2 defenders with him. Just unfortunate pass out across. Turbo wasn't able to get there in time.
Louis and Farah connected in midfield. Turbo Pulsar reads it in the corner. Now, PSG tangled up on the side. Can Violent Panda make this shot? He gets it out to K-Dop. Farah will get the block. 1 minute remaining here in game number 1. And somebody has to score eventually. Farah will get a bump in net, but Bluey cannot get it off the wall. So he wrapped it over the top. Opted for the pass instead of the shot. Now Bluey onto the backboard in front of the box. Violent Panda with the clear. Both teams terrified of the breakaway. Neither thinking about sending all 3 players. Turbo will send another shot, and Chaussette will get the block again. Demolition of Chaussette in midfield. This will leave Bluey and Farah some space to move up and be aggressive, as Chaussette has to spawn in that back line. They'll find Bluey. He sends the shot, the deep angle here from the corner. And with 20 seconds remaining, PSG has the lead.
Fantastic play from Bluey as well, just staying upfield, waiting for that shot. Feathers that boost, turns upside down and puts a beauty bottom right.
And Hellfire reigns on DFH. Can GALEFORCE tie it up? For 4 minutes and 40 seconds of nothing. They've got 20 seconds left to find an answer to PSG. Bluey in the corner gets it past 1, fakes out K-Dop and bumps Turbo. Farah will move in and send it to the corner. Now it's only a 1-goal game, so there's plenty of time here. And Turbo Pulsar can take the shot, but Bluey blocks it at the midfield, sends it away, and then has it touch the ground. PSG, 1 goal since they scored here, and 1 goal was all they needed. They'll take game 1.
Very similar to their last series, starting off the same way. Every single game the last time these guys played was within 1, except for the very last one where PSG was able to shut out GALEFORCE. So still expect these guys to go back and forth, a lot of it having to do with that defense. Just these guys taking their opportunities, and even though those shots are on net, they're staying poised. They're not forcing anybody out of net with those shots, because both the players are pretty much just sitting waiting for it and like, yeah, we know that's a miss. It's fine. It's totally fine. And then they bring it downfield and do the exact opposite.
Yeah, a total of 11 shots in this game. A very, very slow, methodical game. A lot of midfield play from these guys as they're just constantly rotating. We very, very rarely saw 3 players from a team in enemy territory. It was almost always sending 2, always having 1 back, never wanting to leave yourselves open. They saw what GALEFORCE was able to do earlier today. Those guys can absolutely shoot from anywhere. You do not want to give them any free opportunities on your net.
I mean, even if they don't, you saw the opposite happen too. Like, GALEFORCE was doing a great job on defense. What happens? Hey, I'm going to shoot it downfield to Bluey, really high lofted, and he's just going to cherry pick that into the bottom right corner. So the opportunities that these guys are creating, it is very risky as well for Bluey to stay up there rather than rotating back. So getting a little bit more free with it.
Yeah, no, a fantastic shot too. It took some of offensive prowess for PSG to score right now. The goals that they put up there, it did take a bit of a commitment, as you said. To watch Bluey up there in the corner just hover and rotate his car to make sure he got the perfect angle to send it into the goal. Absolutely beautiful, and PSG takes the lead. Can they extend it here, or will GALEFORCE come back? Oh, we'll see PSG right off the bat here, off of kickoff, take the lead.
Just a quick 1-2 off the top. You see Farah winning that one up high and lofted. Turbo tried to go back for boost, but because that is challenge, not going to be the first one to the ball. Probably better if he just rotated net and took a guess.
3 seconds into the game. One of the fastest goals I've ever seen scored. We very rarely have kickoff pinch goals in RLCS, and especially not for the first goal of the game. So PSG took them 4 minutes and 40 seconds to score in game number 1. They'll score immediately here in game 2, and they'll try to defend this scoreline. Farah and Chaussette both up. Just Bluey in the back right now. He'll move up and rotate in. Now feeling a bit more comfortable, he'll drop another one down and in. And look how much faster Bluey came up here. Neither of his teammates had fully rotated back yet, and he's already coming up and being aggressive.
I mean, that's the dangerous thing about PSG. Even though they have 2 players commit to that ball, Chaussette has the awareness to land as quickly as possible, recover, pass that back to his teammate who's already approaching in a very dangerous situation, and then make something out of it.
Now GALEFORCE down by 2. K-Dop moving up. Take a shot, but not going to find it. Chaussette and Turbo Neither one makes a great touch, but Turbo will find Violent Panda, and he'll make a shot towards the net, blocked away as they went just a bit wide, and then the defense is going to hold on here from PSG. Bluey around the corner, past K-Dop. Violent Panda's there, puts it back into the box, and he'll drop it in. Oh my goodness, upper 90, just the softest touch as well to make it a 1-goal game.
Really weird contest as well coming out from this one. That ball placing perfectly. You see Bluey jump across. It actually catches the wheel of his car, so it pops up a little bit higher. That's how Violent Panda is able to get that one.
Able to bounce it off of Bluey there. 4:07. 1 goal scored in the last game. We already had 3 in the first minute. The pace has really picked up. 3 players from PSG committed on the offense. Farah the farthest back, and he's just now crossed back into his own half. Farah follows on the wall. Brings up K-Dop and gets it past him. Violent Panda now with a loft. Bluey's the first one there. Turbo pulls it demoed in his own back corner. Shawset takes the shot. Violent Panda has the save. PSG threatening right now in the blue. Turbo with a touch to put it past Bluey. Shawset able to read it in the air, and then Bluey back down to Farah. Putting it up high. Shawset now with the follow through as well. Goes back into the corner. Violent Panda on the wall, past 1. We'll try and put it in the box. Turbo Pulse lurking in midfield, hoping for a moment of opportunity to strike. See Violent Panda through on the wall. Shawset in his own back corner. We'll be able to get it through 2. There's a decent opportunity. There should only be 1 in the back right now, and he gets demolished. Violent Panda, though, rotates through, just follows Shawset all the way down. So even though the net was open, he fills right back in. Keeps that lead from extending.
I mean, difficult play altogether for Shawset, taking that dribble. You just have expectations that you're going to get challenged, so he flicks and goes to the opposite side of the car. Just didn't expect to have an open net that he probably could have just flicked it at. That little bit extra time, but it doesn't matter. K-Dop's going to tie it up.
Yeah, when Shawset misses off the backboard here, K-Dop says, thank you, I'll take that one, and we got a tie game.
Yep, coming straight down. Very difficult read for Shawset. He made the right play, going up as quickly as possible. It's just that positioning is very difficult when that ball's coming straight down. Bounces a little bit off the wall, catches him off guard.
Now tied up here at halftime. GALEFORCE looking for their first win in this series. Turbo will wrap it past 1. Shawset will meet him in the corner. And then Bluey continuing to contest. Ball makes it to the other side. Now coming back to middle. Turbo doesn't make contact as K-Dop and Violent Panda fall back. It's fair to move up. Violent Panda is going to go for the air carry here. Bluey will meet him. This lead opens up some space for Shawset to try and take a shot. The opts to put it to the corner. K-Dop will flick it over the top of Farah. GALEFORCE will look to gain control enemy territory. A nice steal from Shawset. It's just him and Violent Panda in the back. He flicks it over to Turbo. Very cleanly played by GALEFORCE. Trying to regain ball possession in their own territory.
Fantastic challenge on defense to move up and win that one out by Violent Panda. He doesn't win that 50-50, it spells trouble for Turbo. So well done by him, and another save for Violent Panda, but immediately put back on net.
Turbo Pulse plays it to the side. 2 shots came through for PSG. Now Shawset putting it back into the box, and Farah has it up high again. The offense, all the pressure there. And a few good shots as well. But the defense right now from GALEFORCE holding on. And being able to successfully get clears and punts off to the side to give themselves time to get out and get boost as well. The game will restabilize here as the ball makes its way back into the orange box. And now Farah needs to get this one away. Turbo Pulse is sitting up in the cherry pick position, hoping to be able to create some pressure.
This is where it gets dangerous for PSG. All that time lofted allows the rest of these players of GALEFORCE to go and get some boost. And you're going to start to see that attack here just a bit.
Up a bit bumped there by Farah, but it's not going to be much of a difference as this clear was long and all the way to the back. Bluey on the wall will be able to read Violent Panda, but K-Dop falls down and sends it to the far side, just carrying it away from Bluey, and he gets it past Ferris. Now it's just Shawset, who is already positioned on defense, and he's sitting in the corner. Up on the backboard, Farah will be able to move in over the top. Turbo pulls it to the side. Saw Bluey looking for defenders, but he's not going to find any as Turbo pulls it in the corner with Shawset, gets it past him, sends it towards the box. Bluey will tackle as Farah moves into the box behind him. 20 seconds remaining on the clock, still tied up. And it's been a much higher scoring game than the last game, but here at the end of regulation, we're finding ourselves in a very similar situation. Looking down the barrel of overtime, Violent Panda gets past 1, past 2, and now flicks it past the 3rd, but it is wide. The positioning of the last defender, enough to move him away from the goal. Anyone find the buzzer beater? Do we go to overtime? Violent Panda looking for K-Dop. They're not going to connect. And this should touch the ground, but K-Dop keeps it up on the wall. Bluey will pinch it out. Turbo Pulsar looks to play it, and no. Overtime in game 2.
Good kill on the end there. We're going to go and reset it all back at the beginning. Quick opportunity trying to come out from GALEFORCE. Gets stopped by PSG.
Bluey was the first man up. Doesn't make much contact. Shawset actually lets the ball fly past him as well. That's going to cause havoc on the defensive rotation. Violent Panda will drop it down in 16 seconds into overtime, and he's going to do it. GALEFORCE ties up the series.
Violent Panda just catches this entire team sleeping on defense. Everybody's swinging around and rotating in net. No one up on that backboard and giving him that space. All he needs is a little bit of boost and a little bit of time. And Violent Panda puts them up and ties the series.
I mean, you saw Bluey move out off of the kickoff, going up to try and be immediately aggressive. He misses and he just ends up on the GALEFORCE back wall. Then you saw Shawset move out and actually just completely whiff at the midfield. And as Farah moves into the corner to try and pick up boost to follow up Shawset's touch, he realizes, I'm the last player back. Bluey was out of boost. He was in a corner, though the boost had been picked up as well, so he was taking his time getting back, and the defense was just completely not there. Very boost starved. I think Farah was probably the only person who had boost on that field. So Violent Panda says, this is a double tap I could do. Just sends it straight in, gets the victory, and now we're at 1 apiece here in our best of 7.
Yeah, he handles it very well. He was minus, I think he had less than 30 boost on that play as well, so just quickly getting up and then just making sure he feathers it correctly, because any kind of mistouch on that, and it's like you have 2 players sitting in that net ready to just push it downfield. Both of them turned around and were sitting there, and that's part of the reason why I went in, but at the same time, it's just those little changes, and once again, another 1 goal score difference.
Absolutely. PSG putting up 11 shots in this game, as many as we saw put up entirely in game number 1, so significantly more offense, and so much of it coming up right at the beginning. It was great to see PSG being aggressive, but then it felt like they kind of settled a little bit more back into the defensive style we saw in game number 1, and GALEFORCE was able to come back into that and score 3 goals straight.
Well, it's interesting for me as well is that we talked about how the difference in assists. The last time these guys played, the assists were even throughout the entire series. And a lot of it had to do with just PSG winning. They technically won every category except for assists in which they tied it. They had more shots. They had less saves. In most cases, you obviously don't want to be on defense. But in the stat category, they were able to limit what GALEFORCE was able to do simply by applying better pressure. And it looks like GALEFORCE is actually doing that to them.
GALEFORCE with a beautiful kickoff. The cheat up giving them immediate aggression. Blue coming in from the corner just in time after picking up boost to make the block. Violent Panda with another shot towards net. 2 players come down, 2 players miss. He'll make it through, and GALEFORCE has the lead.
Great placement by Violent Panda on this touch. K-Dop just plays it into that wall, and it pops out perfectly for him. Despite having 2 players up, and they both commit to it, it doesn't matter, just down and under.
Overtime in game 2 was the first time GALEFORCE had the lead in this series, and now they have it for the first time with actual time left to play. So we'll see how they play from the lead here against PSG.
Seems to me that's where their strongest is.
Especially when they can just play the defense we saw in game number 1. K-Dop and Turbo working together to move this one out. Shawset followed it through, and then Bluey removing Farah. It's just Violent Panda in position to make the defensive plays. And he'll touch to the corner where K-Dop spawns. Able to get it back out. Shawset and Blue with the counterattack. Turbo makes contact. And he'll drop on the Farah. Violent Panda towards the box. Shawset pitches it back to the corner. Shawset and Farah will work together to move it back down, get them back onto offense here. Kate up on the wall. Got Turbo just sitting in midfield. Oh dear. You're kidding me.
Oh dear.
Went in. I just kept waiting for them to clear it. It just wasn't going anywhere. K-Dop will put it through, and then just mistakes from PSG.
I mean, it was a call off there. You saw Shawset rushing back because he didn't have any boost. He just wanted to be a net to help out. But as soon as that player goes to challenge, he's like, yeah, back off, it's fine. And because of that, they just swoop past each other and it rolls in. Just unfortunate play coming out from PSG, but it looks like GALEFORCE is going to try to punish him with another quick attack off the kickoff.
And this is how game 2 started for PSG, getting up to an early 2-goal lead.
And GALEFORCE had 3 unanswered.
Yeah, but then the PSG goals were very earned and beautiful plays. Not an own goal like that, so PSG gonna have to.
What do you mean? That was beautiful.
There was a, you know, a chaotic
They
beauty
showcased
to
it
I
well.
guess.
They followed it, kind of ushered it in, treated it like a red carpet. It's great.
Bluey into the corner over the top of Violent Panda. He's got K-Dop with him as well. It's just Turbo and net. He'll make the clear. Sends it away. PSG, a team that has played faster than most teams in the league. Shawset leaves that one from Louis. Drops down. Now Farah's going to go for the dribble onto the wall, and K-Dop will play it nice and softly away. Violent Panda easily picks this one up. I'll pinch in the middle. Louis, the nice touch pass, Turbo down, and Farah's up, takes the shot towards the net, almost puts it in, but Violent Panda's there just in the nick of time, and now K-Dop with the transition all the way down. Turbo will steal it, secure it, however you want to say it, take it away from him. 3-0 GALEFORCE.
Yeah, unfortunate. It was actually Bluey who made that save. He tried to jump and bump that last defender, but it ended up popping out, and because of that commit, an easy counterattack set up for the player who is already moving into the corner. Easy 1-2, back downfield, all because of that one play.
Quite fast. We'll see GALEFORCE now up by 3. Kickoff worked out PSG's favor, but then they just don't handle it on the back end. Violent Panda puts it in, and we're just here at halftime. GALEFORCE is already completely running away with game 3.
Another long clear and able to walk it in, just catching these guys off guard. Something that GALEFORCE is really taking advantage of. These long clears and then a quick pass inside.
2:34 left on the clock. PSG yet to score in game 3. Farah up, and Turbo played straight into Farah. Nice read. The clear wasn't immediately there, but there was no immediate pressure either from PSG, so they will still keep playing for that first goal.
Good play by Violent Panda. Nobody on that back line had boost. Rather than going for the demo, he backs off, goes up for another aerial, and buys his team some time.
Play it out to midfield now. Shawset with an answer. Into the corner, and Bluey to pinch it, trying to get it over the top of Turbo. Gets it past one, but K-Dop has the read, and that's 2 players in the goal for PSG. Farah with a nice stop there to keep the transition from immediately moving down. Will give Bluey some time to move in, and a nice touch by Shawset. Gives it right back to Farah. He can fly this down. He's just going to deal with one. It's K-Dop, and he slams it over the top. Just a rocket of a shot. 4-1. Still GALEFORCE.
Creating an option for himself. Shawset just wins that challenge and brings it out. But Farah, the ability to just play that quick. K-Dop should have made that save. He was there, just backflips behind it.
You saw down there, though, 107 kilometers per hour.
That's a pace on it for sure.
Ridiculous shot. Just from a flick at midfield. Didn't pinch it, didn't use a wall. All solo power there from Farah. Now down by 3. Blue to carry this one. Farah with another shot. It actually goes in here. K-Dop again lofted and looked like he'd be able to make the save, but this one finds the corner, and all of a sudden it's a 2-goal game.
Farah's trying to make a statement to K-Dop here, saying, I own you, man. No matter what I shoot, you are not saving.
Puts it through, and it's GALEFORCE's defense has been absolutely stellar. A team that during the offseason we commonly touted as being the best defense in the world. Now K-Dop with another shot from midfield. It's been these kickoff plays that have been so deadly from GALEFORCE. Not scoring off of the kickoffs necessarily, but just threatening so hard, and Violent Panda to drop it through. Bluey off the post, or off the crossbar to send it away. Turbo keeps it back at the box. But now K-Dop in the back. Can Bluey get there? No. K-Dop will save this one off with 1:14 left to go. Be able to get it out. Violent Panda pass 1, pass 2, shot towards net. Shawset will put it to the corner. K-Dop to wrap it around. All of it carried away. Final minute here of game 3. Still trailing by 2, but building the comeback. PSG's trying to make a game out of it.
They're trying to give this GALEFORCE team a taste of their own medicine. These quick counterattacks, applying pressure on GALEFORCE. It just seems to be that this defense a little bit too strong from GALEFORCE as they're able to bring that back. As that touch from Violent Panda on net.
The defense holding on right now for PSG with 35 seconds left. They need to score. It's absolutely critical they get one in and give themselves time for the equalizer. They've only got 30 seconds left to work with. Violent Panda to carry this one. The thing about the air dribbles right now is they do, while they're not necessarily the most threatening play, they burn a lot of time off the clock. Keep the ball out of PSG's hands. With 13 seconds remaining, ball still in the orange. Looking pretty certain here. GALEFORCE can be able to take game 3. Flying down the field, PSG needs to put this one in immediately, but even as the ball goes up on the wall, they're running out of time, and it will be GALEFORCE taking the win here in game 3. 2 games back-to-back. They're looking to see if they can put one more in, just for fun. You know, why not? That'll test the crowd there. GALEFORCE 4-2 there. Out to a blazing start as they got 4 goals in straight. And PSG would have had to have matched the greatest comeback in RLCS history to get the win off of that one.
Yep, complete different change of pace in that game. It seems like GALEFORCE has really found their footing. just settling down and just these quick passes. You know what? Don't mess with it. Just play it downfield, be ready for it, and just trust in yourself. And that seems to be it. Quick pass and a shot on net, and they're finding the back. A lot of it, though, because of Violent Panda, the guy that we normally see as the one who sets up everything has just been doing it in a different style by completely dribbling it downfield on his own and setting up plays. It's unbelievable.
They've been doing very well. 13 shots there from GALEFORCE. A lot of offense. These guys back and forth. And it was just that beginning, that first half when they just got out to such a lead. The own goal from on PSG's side definitely helped give them some more momentum and helped just kind of put a cog in PSG's style of things. They need to just clean the board on this one. Think about it. We have a new game coming up here. We can still do this. They're only down by 1 game right now. And the best of 7 is quite the marathon here. So who's going to be able to pull it out right now? You heard the desk. They're all on GALEFORCE's side on this one, but they did say it would be close, and I definitely expect to see PSG put up a fight here in Game 4.
Yeah, you did start to see PSG start to adapt to that style of difference of how well that this team of GALEFORCE was spreading out the field and then quick passes across to the other side. They started doing that themselves. They started incorporating it a little bit with Bluey because that's what worked for them in the beginning, a pass downfield and then a cherry picker kind of style. The difference, though, is GALEFORCE is doing it extremely clean without the risk of leaving someone up.
Man, the beautiful shots from Farah, too. Got to give Farah a lot of props, scoring both the goals there for PSG in Game 3.
Placement was quite superb.
Yeah, the speed on the shots as well. We'll see how they're able to bounce back here in Game 4. They're onto the backboard. Blue with the follow-up. Both he and Turbo going up high. Now Farah will put it onto the backboard of his own. Trying to get it away from GALEFORCE. They move down, and now Bluey swords an open net. Will go wide, and KDOP will be able to get it clear. A touch towards Violent Panda. Made a pass to outpace him a little bit, but he's gotten on the back wall by himself. KDOP and Turbo both thinking about shooting in the midfield. So Violent Panda gets a demolition on the shot set, and he spawns in the inopportune corner, but Fair is able to get it away. Turbo pulls a shot towards net. Chaussette pinches it against his post. The PSG will get the clear. Such just suppressive offense right now from GALEFORCE. So they've been able to keep this one in the orange vast majority of this game ever since kickoff. Turbo has got it back into the box. Violent Panda not going to take the shot, but he lets KDOT move up, puts it onto the backboard. Farah does not make contact, and Bluey will clear it away before Violent Panda can make the shot. Now Turbo moved out to try and keep it going. Bluey got it past him. Violent Panda will get the nice long clear. Chaussette sits in net, waiting for the moves here from GALEFORCE. Underneath too, just sitting in the box again, lofted high. No solid clears and no solid semblance of transition from PSG right now, as it's just been GALEFORCE time after time back into the box, taking more and more shots, especially towards that backboard.
A lot of it's just the decisiveness of GALEFORCE, just the ability to make plays and call each other off, but communicating quite well. And you saw it plenty of times. I mean, there again, as he was checking back, there was a player moving in on GALEFORCE to make a touch, but instead, as KDOP's moving back, he just takes a quick touch and pops it up high before he's going out. They're not making it easy on this PSG team, making sure to put it in a difficult spot every single time.
Oh, Bluey with some fake plays, and it'll just drop in the front of the box. Violent Panda gets the clear away. And now Turbo pulls with a long shot. Can Bluey get there in time? He does. He sends it off to the side. Just everything has been so close for so many of these options. So many of these opportunities. PSG. The defense holding on both sides, still scoreless here as we approach halftime. Looking more like game 1 than games 2 or 3. This is on the wall. Farah moving back, last line of defense here at midfield. Just need to buy time for Bluey and Chaussette to move around, so we'll play it to the side. Now Turbo's soft touch, watch you drop down, and Blue goes to try and take it from Violent Panda. Take it up high, KDOP makes a soft touch, but can Chaussette put it in? No, the third shot from Farah goes wide on the interference from Turbo Pulsa. These guys, the defense holding on, even when they're in such a bad position there. So you saw Bluey really taking advantage, slamming on his gas pedal to try and get it away from Violent Panda. Nearly made the opportunity work out.
People ask why this GALEFORCE team is represented as probably the best in their region. A lot of it and showcased there, but Turbo Pulse again, another little bit of help.
He made me turn into a monkey here. Let's watch Turbo send the ball towards the net, and then yes.
And then you went hoo-ha.
And I said hoo-ha right there, so it was a scary one for me, man. You know, Chaussette put in another one there towards, he's trying to make the save. And when you got Turbo making those shots there and you just try to get the quick reflexive action there, sometimes it goes towards your own net, PSG.
Sometimes those fireworks catch off guard with Wave.
A little bit. Now down by 1, GALEFORCE can hold on. They've won 2 straight. And a win here would put PSG on match point, send them in the grand finals here for North America, for Europe rather, excuse me. North America was yesterday.
Indeed it was.
K-Dop over the top of 1, towards the net. Violent Panda looks for the double tap, but doesn't find it. This would just be a single tap at that point. He's only the one making the touch, but oh dear, the drop down straight in front. Shawset basically assisting Turbo Pulsa, and Turbo Pulsa says, thank you, I'll slam that one in.
It's difficult for PSG. GALEFORCE is making these guys chase them on every touch. Just a step ahead every bit of the way. And you see it. I mean, as soon as they make that touch, you see a player flying across just a second too late.
Yeah, and this is Rocket League, just one of the simplest strategies in Rocket League. Wait for your opponents to make mistakes and then capitalize on it. And PSG is giving the mistakes to GALEFORCE. GALEFORCE is playing it so beautifully. Display substantial defense. Every opportunity PSG is getting on the offense being shut down. And now Violent Panda with a shot blocked away by Bluey. Turbo Pulsa in to try and make one. He'll be back as Violent Panda and K-Dop. Got to play some defense here, and it works out, even as PSG again with a pretty decent opportunity to score. Be shut down by the GALEFORCE defense.
The pace of this game has definitely increased, but good job by Farah. They recognized the issue that was happening with that, with the pass coming across. He demos out the player, shuts it down, but still, despite that, GALEFORCE still owning the possession on the side of this PSG team.
They have absolutely been in complete control here in game number 4. GALEFORCE gonna get themselves a win here. If they just hold on for a few more seconds, this shot from K-Dop will absolutely seal the deal for GALEFORCE. They will have PSG on match point. PSG will have to win 3 straight if they want to be playing for the European Regional Championship title. Right now, it's looking like GALEFORCE has paved the way to get there.
Just seems like they have an answer for everything, and it's difficult as well for that last man back in Farah. He's sitting there waiting like both of those players have an opportunity, whether it be K-Dop or I think it was Violent Panda who was spinning around above him. And it's just like, okay, I don't know who to challenge, man. Like, which one do I go for? He doesn't do either because he has to respect the ability to be that last man back.
Can we talk about how crazy of a goal this was? This is just a great shot from Bluey. Way to work off kickoff. Ends up somehow, I just want to know how he ended up behind the ball.
Because when he was moving down, it hit he was upside down, so it hit the top side of his car technically. So it like hit it straight down, and he kept his momentum going forward. But
he maintained all of his speed, and the ball was kind of down. This is still just crazy stuff from Bluey.
Yeah, that bounce made it really difficult to read until he got that goal.
And it kept them from being shut out there. Yet to be shut out here. The only shutout that's happened actually was the very first game, where PSG was able to win 1-0 over GALEFORCE. But so far, GALEFORCE has had substantial wins, winning by 2 goals in both games 3 and 4. And as we move into game 5, 1 win away from moving into that final game.
Well, the big story is starting to develop for this GALEFORCE team. That offense really coming to life. You're starting to see that spread of goals and shots really favor them. But, I mean, you talked about it. 10 or 11, the first one that we started to see the difference. Now they have 14. Now they're back down to 11. So it's like, it's not even the matter that they're having less shots. It's just that they're really suffocating this PSG's team.
Yeah, they're trying to get a rematch here against Method. They'd love to play them in the finals here. Method, what a story from that team as they ended, and this is not the situation. They ended up losing 1 game. They were 1 game away, 1 goal away from going to land last season, and now they are playing for the European Regional Championship here. GALEFORCE is going to be trying to do it to play against them in that match. So much still on the line here. So much still left to play for here in Europe.
I mean, a lot of history, too. I mean, you're seeing Turbo obviously moving over after he subbed for the previous world champions, but I mean, you're talking GALEFORCE was a team that just barely missed out on the playoffs. I mean, they got beat by this Market squad that was getting hot, which was also a completely different roster, so it's kind of weird how that works. But I mean, Violent Panda is the only like OG GALEFORCE player still left, so for him it's got to feel good that he's found the right teammates, that they're clicking this well, and pretty much considered pretty, I would say, ever since DreamHack Sweden, as like, okay, these guys are one you have to watch out for, even though Flipside was the one that won that event.
Yeah, then they kind of started their reign of terror in Europe.
Their reign of second place terror.
Yeah, they definitely had, like, if they made it to the finals oftentimes, they did come in second, but then they started to win. These guys, a bit of a soft start, but now on fire. If there's ever a time to be playing well, right now is the time. GALEFORCE is doing it, but PSG, who started out very hot, cooled off a little bit here. at the end of the regular season. And right now, 1 game away from being dropped in the 3rd place match.
What a read by Turbo. Completely off that one, decides to pre-jump it, get in the way and block it out. Just allows his teammates to go again, grab some boost, but a play from Bluey trying to make something happen.
See if they can send that one away. Chaussette into the midfield, but no one there for PSG. Blue is trying to get there in time, but now the touch is coming through for GALEFORCE. Pinch from K-Dop will go high.
Gotta be careful of those double commits. PSG's been doing that quite a bit.
Chaussette and Farah in the back right now. This one bouncing, crossbar and down. TurboPulsa finding the goal from his own half.
Bluey played that well. He played it off the corner right back in the midfield, just both of his teammates retreating. Chaussette was starting to cheat up a little bit on it, but Turbo, just beautiful placement and power. He is loving that skyline.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous shot from his own box all the way down. Very difficult read. He's able to find it, gets it past one player now, and GALEFORCE already scoring what could possibly be the only goal they need to send them into the European Regional Finals. Final Panda and Turbo. Here in the midfield, Chaussette looking to kill. Trade places with Bluey. Farah will be able to pick it up off the bounce. Shot towards it is wide, and Final Panda will have a clear. Farah to follow it along. Chaussette in the corner. Final Panda with a lob, Bluey's up. Gets there before Turbo. Drop it back into the box, but K-Dop will be able to play it away, and Violent Panda to follow. Adds some pace, finds TurboPulsa in the corner, and he goes to the box. Farah had the rotation, he'll send it away. 3:10 left on the clock. PSG is still looking for their first goal here in Game 5.
Just really clean play all around from GALEFORCE. These one touches after another, just threatening every single time. But not only do they apply that offense really well, but there's usually someone back on defense to cover it. They're playing safe, but also aggressive. It's a unique combination.
Right now it feels like PSG's making the contact, but not the contact they're looking for. They're not able to play it in the direction they want. They're just managing to at least get a single wheel on the ball. That's usually a sign that the team you're playing against is just playing at a pace that you're not able to quite read at. Right now GALEFORCE just keeping his ball so much up in the air, connecting with passes on the walls. GALEFORCE really coordinating with each other in a unique way. They get it over the top of Farah. You can see Farah just trying to make contact. Chaussette looks like he got Goomba stomped there by K-Dop, sent right back down.
Launched him up to get a pass, actually. It was kind of funny.
K-Dop into the box. Chaussette sits in net. Well, both Bluey and Farah are out in the corner. Turbo just shoots over the top, slams it in, and Turbo's having a great day.
That's just unfortunate for PSG. K-Dop gets bumped into the wall, just moves up, but then his play to jump on that wall and bounce the ball back into middle. Turbo just sitting there waiting for it. It just seems GALEFORCE has an answer for everything this PSG team is trying to do.
Oh yeah, there's the double commit on the wall just puts Chaussette in such an awkward position, especially when it goes out straight to Turbo, and he can do anything. He can mind game, he can keep it on the ground, he can shoot up high.
I mean, the double commit's problem with it, but still, for they thought they removed K-Dop from the play. They're like, all right, bump this guy out of here, get him out of the way, and he just recovers. He's like, nah, still a nuisance. Still here, don't mind me.
Able to get that one back down to Turbo, and he'll put in another goal. Guys put in so many. He's had a bit of help from PSG this series as well, but still
he's gone.
Able to find him. Chaussette will get this read at the midfield and put it into the corner. PSG still looking for that goal. Chaussette shut it up here for both of his teammates. Farah left it for Bluey, but well defended by GALEFORCE. Now Bluey with a ceiling shot attempt here. Goes all the way to the ground before using that second flip. Turbo with all of the dunks. The 50-50 is just going so much in GALEFORCE's favor. Finally, Bluey gets a pass one, but that double commit will pitch it all the way down and into the orange box. Chaussette will have to go one by one here. Gets over the top of Turbo, but it opens it up for K-Dop as he got bumped. Now Farah, shot towards net. Turbo back into the corner. K-Dop sits in the blue box. Thinks about moving up on the wall. The position a bit amuck here from GALEFORCE. The best opportunity I feel like we've seen from PSG, but they're unable to get meaningful ball control. 45 seconds left on the clock right now. GALEFORCE holds on to this. The series is over. They'll have the win.
Well, they're looking strong. I mean, up 2-0. It's been enough every other game as the scoreline has been the biggest of that. It's just the defense of this team has been extremely strong. With only 30 seconds left, PSG needs to score right now.
2-0. They need it to be 2-1 at least. Violent Panda now into the corner. And if there was ever a point to be sending all three players for PSG, it's right now. but again, struggles to win the 50-50s. The 1v1 situations, so difficult when you're up against this GALEFORCE roster. Shawset sends it down, Bluey in the air, but he plays it to the side. That'll run all the time off the clock. And GALEFORCE here, they drop game 1 by 1 goal and then come back roaring to a victory 4 games straight. What a finish they will play for the European Regional Championship.
It has got to feel good for this GALEFORCE team. All these players coming from a different side, you know, and all of them have had heartbreak other than, I guess, Turbo, kind of. I mean, Turbo was left as a sub. People are like, is this guy even good enough to start? He ends up winning a world championship. For Violent Panda just missing out, and then for K-Dop just having that heartbreak in that last second. So for these guys to come together, they're really making a statement here and now have a chance to go on and be, you know, regional champs.
They certainly do. We will get to see that game later on today. We've got one more match before we get to the finals, but fantastic job to GALEFORCE. They qualify there, and we'll get to see them again later on today. For now, let's head back to the desk.
Yeah, GALEFORCE playing that match pretty similarly to how they played their first match, dropping the first game, but then taking 4 in a row, and GALEFORCE advancing to the Regional Championship Finals here on European Regional Championship Day. What a performance from them, guys. You know, PSG coming in, honestly, I thought it'd be a little bit closer of a series, but GALEFORCE just looked dominant from the start.
But PSG, they opened up well.
Yeah.
They win game 1. They go up 2-0 in game 2. But game 2 was that difference maker. As soon as GALEFORCE came back, you felt like PSG felt deflated. And then it was just all GALEFORCE.
Yeah, it's their strategy. Lull the other team into a false sense of security by losing game 1.
Smart.
And then boom, it's over. But Bluey, I did think he started out with that high impact goal. I thought he played the best out of anyone on PSG today. There was a couple of miss hits by Shawset, and Ferris struggled with a little bit of accuracy. But GFE, I just think they just turned on. Like, it was the GFE that we were expecting all season. They showed up today.
And that's what it's about in these single elimination tournament brackets. It can all come down to how you're playing on the day of. Throw all previous results out the window, as we've mentioned before. But let's go ahead and take a look at the Mobile One high performance replay from that match and get a recap as, again, GALEFORCE falling in game 1, but then bringing it back the rest of the way.
Yeah, here we see the comeback in game number 2. PSG, they opened up 3-0. But then after that, GALEFORCE outscored them 12 goals to 3. And again, Violent Panda and overtimes with those double taps off the backboard, playing extraordinary. I still think he should have been more in the running for MVP because I thought he's been that strong force for GALEFORCE. But Turbo's having a day.
Yeah, Turbo, just scoring goal after goal, having a phenomenal performance all around. I thought VP also played very well. K-Dop got involved quite a bit. Turbo was just always ready to pounce. Out of the 5 assists that GALEFORCE had, K-Dop was 4 of them, and that was a lot of just K-Dop getting in people's faces, just getting a ball out close enough to Turbo to where he could strike. And Turbo did not disappoint. They shut out in the final game. They shut out PSG and really dominantly claimed this victory and got their revenge.
But the one shocking thing, Turbo, only 3 saves. He normally leads the team in saves, only getting 3 while Violent Panda and K-Dop doing most of the save work. So it just shows that all these guys can just rotate roles so easily on GALEFORCE compared to a lot of these teams where you need to have specific people in specific spots to have your best chance to win. GALEFORCE is like, we can throw them anywhere. And they all got 14 shots too, just equal shots across the board.
And we also saw some pretty bad defensive plays too. It seemed like PSG, we saw in the Method series in the Rival Week that sometimes they can struggle a little bit. And this one also seemed like they got mentally affected a little bit. There was that play, K-Dop touched the ball. It was like 20 kilometers per hour, and it just rolled in because of chaos on the defense. But really, GFE, the surprising thing to me was 12 goals, but only 5 assists, a lot of it unassisted. So to me, that shows that the players stepped up on GALEFORCE, but also the defense was a little bit of inconsistent for PSG.
Yeah, GALEFORCE having an incredible day today. A couple really good wins over Flipside and PSG. They're going to be advancing to the finals to face off against Method. We're going to take another short break here, but when we come back, we're jumping into the 3rd, 4th place match. This is very important for money and for seeding going into the World Championships. It's Makin going up against PSG, a best of 7. We'll be right back.